Hello, I'm Sneha Pimpalkar. I'm representing Team 2. We have built a multi-tenant software as a service application wherein we are providing our tenants with a mini Salesforce mobile app through which the tenants could sign up, log in, and use various software development methodologies like Scrum, Gantt, and Kanban to track the progress of their projects. Instead of a web application, we've come up with this mobile application which is displayed on the screen. So, our mobile application will consume the various RESTful web services which we have developed. We have developed all the RESTful web services using Spring Hibernate framework. We have deployed our application server on Amazon EC2 instance since we want our application to scale well when the user load increases or decreases accordingly. Also, we have made use of MySQL database wherein we are storing the schema for our multi-tenant software as a service application. Also, we are saving all our tenant details into the MySQL database. Again, to scale our database to get high availability and high scalability, we have deployed our MySQL database server onto Amazon RDS instance. This is a high level overview of our mini Salesforce multi-tenant software as a service application. So now my role in this project is I am responsible to create various RESTful web services. As a part of my contribution to this team, I have built 3 RESTful web services. The first one is login, wherein the user logs into the mobile application. For this, I have used the post HTTP method which the RESTful web service provides. The second RESTful API which I have created is for user creation. When a user signs up into this mini Salesforce application, it makes use of this RESTful web service which is the user creation, which is a post HTTP method. The third web service which I have developed is verify unique username and password, which again uses post HTTP method of RESTful web services. Also, at the end of this project, I am responsible for testing the entire application. I have tested the entire end-to-end application flow right from the application till the server functionalities. To test all the RESTful web services, I have made use of advanced REST client. Also, I am responsible to do the documentation for this project. This is all about my contribution and a high level overview of our mini Salesforce multi-tenant software as a service application. I now invite Arjun Shukla to walk you through the demo of this application. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Arjun here, and thank you, Sneha, for giving a brief introduction about our project. So I'll quickly jump into the demo and give you a brief overview of how the application actually works. So we built an iPad application since none of us were very well versed with AngularJS and front end for the web. So we ended up making an iPad application instead because I had a bit of prior experience and I applied it to that. So this is our app, the mini Salesforce, and as you can see, it's a very minimal app. The main focus is, of course, on the multi-tenant database. This is the login screen. A user can also sign up. Let's try to sign up. This is my team member Piyush. And here's chat. Video. Password. Piyush123. As soon as I do this, my user account is created and I am able to sign in. Now, once I'm in the app, I can straight away head out to the create project screen. Here I can give a project name like 281 final project. Then I have the option to select a category, Scrum, Kanban or Gantt. And based on my selection, suppose I select Scrum. So I get a list of tables here which which are particular to this model. And once I select it, I have the ability to enter data into this, and anything, suppose. And similarly, when I press the plus button, it goes and persists in the backend. Currently, for this version, this functionality is not fully enabled. There are some certain bugs which were preventing us from completing this functionality. But otherwise, ideally, the use case is that when I press the plus button, these fields ty, should actually come here in these table views. And all this code is being created dynamically based on the JSON which has been returned from the backend. Similarly, if I select story, I have the ability to enter all these details about the story. The Scrum status will be similarly different table, resource different. So that's pretty much it about Scrum. Let's check out Kanban, how that works. You have a resource table, a Kanban status table. Oops, sorry. Then we have the corresponding columns for that, the cards. And lastly, we have the Gantt. Here also we have the resource, Gantt status, and the task table. So whenever we want to create a project, we can just give a brief description about it, select a start date for the project. Suppose it starts on 12th of May, and suppose we have a deadline to meet, we can give it June 6th, and we can enter all these details and hit the create button to do that. So that's a brief overview of this create project setup, and this is where I would view the project once it is created. Currently that is not completely enabled, since I'm not able to enter the fields in my column names here. That's why I'm not going to show that, but I have values in my database which I'll show you through this account. So that's Praveen's setup which we created. Now we're into the same create project space. Again, I'll get the same setup, and in case I change something on the backend and add another option here, this is coming through the JSON, so that will also get reflected over here. So I've already explained all this. I'll just move on to the view my projects part. These are two projects which we had created in the database. Let's go ahead and check out project A. Okay, so this is just a breakpoint which I applied just to show the kind of JSON we would be getting here. So as you can see, I'm getting all these details. I'll show you the table names here. So these are this project A has sprint, story, Scrum status, and resource table. So let's just skip this and move ahead with the demo. So as you can see, the screen loaded. I have the project ID, project A. It's a Scrum type of a project. Started at this, ends here. Then this is my table structure, which is coming from the DB, which I just showed you in this JSON over here. So as you can see, all the details are there. A little buggy. I could have made it better, but never mind. So then I can check the progress for this. This is a Scrum bound on pie chart. We couldn't figure out how to actually plot the normal burn down chart, so we just ended up innovating with the pie chart instead. So as you can see, the remaining hours are 12. Is it 12? Yeah. So 12 hours remaining here and 10 are completed. So I guess that's what it's showing here. Yeah, remaining are 12, 10 completed. Yeah, that's perfect. And for this charting, we've used a Shinobi charts library, so you can see the mark over here. Anyways, let's just go on to the next one. This is project C. Okay, it's a Gantt waterfall type project. So, and it's 50% completed. So if I go to the view progress and check it out, so this is a Gantt project status pie chart. All this is dynamic through the JSON which I receive, and that's how pretty much it is. So that's pretty much it for this app, and now I'll hand it over to Praveen, who will explain more about the URLs which he has provided me in this file. I'll just briefly go over the. So as you can see, this is currently running on my local host. The server is running on my machine out here. I'll just show the STS. So that's where everything is hosted here in the app controller. We've written all these services for the get, post, put, all sorts of methods. So these are the URLs for that, and that's pretty much it. Now over to Praveen. Thank you.
Hello friends, I am Praveen representing Team 2. Here are my contribution towards this project. My main contribution was to design the core functionality of the application, where I have designed the REST services which communicates with the database and pulls the result and again give back to the mobile client. As in our case, we have used one mobile app which will be consuming our REST services. So here you can see this is the database. Like currently you can see there are three tables, one table in which we have three entries T1, T2, T3 representing the different type of tenant we'll be supporting. This is the code written in Java using the Hibernate and Spring MVC framework so as to develop the REST services. And here is our advanced REST client, which I'll be giving you the demo of like how we can use the REST web services. Although these REST services are consumed by our mobile client to represent the data. So let me first build my project. As you can see, this project is built it and started, and the application is running on port 8080. This is our application initial landing point. Like see, for login I have to use /login. The complete URL will start from this mini salesforce /v1/star, and after start we can use like /login, create user, /logged out, verify the unique username, get all tenants, get table data structure, etc. Let us test some of the application, some of the REST services. Say for example, if I have to log in, I'll give this URL, give the payload in the form of JSON, and if I say send, it will give you the detail like the currently this is the user ID generated, this is the password for that user, and this is the status like user is logged in. Now there are some REST services which I have developed like get all tenants, which all tenants our application support. So currently there is, let me reset it first, clear http login get all tenants. Now see, this is the URL that I have to use. If I say get and get all tenants, currently you can see these are the tenants which actually present in the database and pulled over here, and this URL will be consumed by our mobile application to represent the data. There is one more REST services I want to show where we can just see for a particular project. Say for example, if I want to see the project detail, I have to hit this URL get project details /2, and if I say send, it's a get request. Now you can see this is the complete table structure. Like we have three tables like Kanban status, resource, and cards, and their following entries. So this way I have developed the REST services and represented the endpoints for our mobile app to consume in order to have a good representation of those data. Thank you.
Piyush Jha. On behalf of Team 2, I am going to give you a walkthrough on the implementation of multi-tenant schema. We have created multiple tables, also called as tenant, and each tenant has its own separate set of tables in a common database. So as we can see here is the first table is tenant details, which is in order it has been created in order to have the information of all the details of the tenant name and the tenant ID. So if we are executing this query, we can see that the two parameters are there with tenant ID and tenant name. Another table we have is the tenant table details. This table is created in order to have the information of all tenant name and the tenant ID. It will keep a record of the tenant type if it is a Scrum, Gantt, or a Kanban. After running this query, we can see the details of the tables which are coming under the T1, T2, T3. Another table we have is tenant table details. With the help of the primary key in the tenant table details, we will be using those values to have other records in tenant table details. So here we have used this for this tenant table details. After executing this query, we can observe the primary parameters which has been incorporated here with the name tenant table ID, having field name and the field description. Another all the details of this table is going to show, like the field name, all the field names whatever we have used in the multi-tenant schema is going to be available here, and all the values which we are going to put on this field name will be entered in the table field value. So now we are going to execute the field value table. So we will see all the details which are available here, which are available which were available here with the values. So these are actually differentiated by the table name, the field values and the field name. So now we are going to make a join which will incorporate all the important necessary values, showing the complete details about the multi-tenant schema. So after executing this query, we can see that for this project it has been differentiated, like the project has been categorized, the project type has been categorized, all the other parameters have been categorized according to the value which we have given. So this was the basic architecture of the multi-tenant schema we have followed for our project. So my responsibilities for this multi-tenant schema was to create the application infrastructure for the database, and the contribution which I have done is this: I have studied about the basic architecture of the multi-tenant, the concepts and working of the multi-tenant, and I have analyzed the possibility to use MongoDB over SQL, and also I have worked on the database operations to understand the basic working of the multi-tenant data model. Also, I have designed the database which I have already shown in this presentation, like tenant details, tenant table details, tenant field details, tenant project details, user details, and analyze its multi-tenancy behavior. And at last, I have analyzed the basic configuration required for AWS, EC2 and RDS. Also, I have checked the working of APIs and its functionality using REST. And at the end, I have drafted the report with the help of my team members, mentioning introduction, database implementation and cloud services. Thank you.